What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and watching. I love every single one of you guys. And speaking of me loving every single one of you guys, let's talk about love in this video. And specifically, let's talk about unconditional love. Now, everything that I'm going to talk about in this video is mostly abstraction. I don't even apply most of what I'm going to say in this video. So this video is as much of me trying to educate myself as much as I'm trying to spread awareness to the concept of unconditional love. Because if you think you have somebody's unconditionally loving you at the moment, you're really lucky if somebody does. And if you're loving someone unconditionally right now, then you're a fucking hero. Because if you actually look at what unconditional love is, it's a very fucking rare thing to find and to be even. And I can't really say that this is my reality. But all I can say is at least I'm aware of it now. And as long as I'm aware of it, perhaps at some point in the future, I can be more of an embodiment to it. But unconditional love is, what it sounds like is zero conditions. Okay, but let's talk about some of the conditions that can really freak you out. Let's say you're going out with a girl and you've been dating for a while and she cheats on you. You love her before. She's with another man right now. There's a new condition that arose. The previous condition was, I love you as long as we're together. As long as I'm the only one you're fucking. She fucks another man. She tells you about it, There you go, bro. How about that for a fucking lightning bolt? How about that for a lightning bolt? There's a new condition. Do I still love her? With the new condition that she fucks me, but fucks other guys as well? Do I still love her? And, well, for like 99% of us, the answer is no. Fuck that bitch. She's a slut. Right? There's a new condition. The condition is she's sleeping with another man. And let's say she's being honest about it. She's not even lying. Let's say she's being honest, right? Do you still love her? Well, there you go. So most of us, the answer is going to be no. A resounding no, that is, right? But unconditional love means you love her. There's no condition. You see how difficult this is? You see how difficult unconditional love is? Let's say she lies to you and deceives you in whichever way. Could be with anything. There's a new condition. She's lying. Do you still love the person that she is, even though she's lying? Can you look past all the lying? Can you put yourself in her shoes and really understand why she's lying, understand that she's been troubled in her childhood or troubled with something, and because of that she's lying and she's deceiving? Can you still love her? Can you still love the actual person underneath the lying and underneath the deception? Think that little 3-year-old girl version of her. Can you still, because that's really like, at that point, you're almost looking at the person in their actual soul, in their actual, who they are, right? Can you still see the 3-year-old in her and love her? Love the actual real her, despite her deceiving and cheating? See where I'm going with this? See how, if you think you love somebody, think again, okay? It's difficult. But that's what unconditional love is. Zero conditions. No conditions whatsoever. Right? It means if somebody wrongs you, I talk about my temper, my bad temper, how usually when somebody wrongs me or is rude, I fucking lose my shit. Well, there's a condition on my love to the other person then, isn't there? My condition is you have to be nice to me, you have to be kind to me, so that I can be kind to you back. And so as long as you're not kind to me and you're rude, I'm gonna lose my shit and I'm gonna fucking show you who's the boss here. And I no longer love you. There's condition on my love. You see, you realize, okay, unconditional love is one of the rarest things you can find. As rare as diamonds, honestly, Because that's what the Christ consciousness is. That's what Jesus preached. That's what Jesus embodied. That's the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is, I love you even if. I love you no matter what. Can you go up to a chick and ask her out and have her reject you or say, oh no, I don't want to go out, blah, 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 whatever, and still look at her and admire her and love her the same way? Or are you going to be like, oh, fuck you, bitch. Like, you don't even like me. Fuck you. I don't even like you anymore. I don't even, whatever I wanted, whatever I admired in you before, I no longer admire. Fuck you, because you don't even like me. Well, there you go. Conditional love. Condition is only if you go out with me. Only if you love, or if you like me back, or only if you like me. But unconditional love, you would still look at her and admire her the same way, There's the condition is she goes out with you, doesn't go out with you, shouldn't really change your love for her. It shouldn't really change your admiration for her. You see? So, that's just a few examples. I can go on, right? I mean, unconditional love goes as far as if somebody kills you, is holding a sword to your throat and is about to, let's say I'll use Jesus again as an example, right? When Jesus was pinned to the cross and he was looking at the people that were crucifying him, do you think Jesus harbored any shred of negative thoughts to his crucifiers? Jesus was probably looking at the crucifiers with deep compassion and deep empathy and deep love. He was probably looking at them eye to eye, face to face, and feeling, I don't want to use the word sorry for them, but feeling deep compassion because he understands their predicaments. He understands that when a person has to kill somebody else, then their soul is in deep shit at the moment. And he's looking at his crucifiers with deep compassion and acceptance and love. That's the Christ consciousness, you see. So, yeah, who has that kind of love? Who has that kind of unconditional love? Well, I'll tell you what, I don't. I don't, and I preach about love and everything here all the time. I'm telling you right now, at the moment, I don't. I'm aware of it now, though. I'm aware of what actual love is. So awareness is good, because now that means it enters my consciousness, and hopefully as I continue to contemplate and self-reflect, I can start to maybe embody that more and more in my life, now that I understand what love is, what unconditional love is. That's the Christ consciousness. That's the Christ consciousness in essence, because you are looking at, so when Jesus is looking at his crucifiers, Jesus is looking, and he knows and understands he's operating at a higher consciousness, that he's just looking at himself. He's looking at himself and understanding the cycle of birth and death and reincarnation. He's probably looking with deep compassion, saying, oh, there's ways to go for you. There's ways to, I have so much compassion for you. I love you. And because I'm looking at myself, because God, it's the one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. So Jesus is looking at his crucifier as if it's him crucifying, and Jesus putting himself fully in the shoes of his crucifier, automatically, instantaneously understands the predicament of the crucifier, understands his karma, understands what motives he has for killing, and right there and then develops instantaneous compassion. Yeah, that's very difficult. But guess what? Guess what, motherfuckers? Unless you get yourself to a place where you can be more of an embodiment to Christ consciousness, you're gonna be fucking stuck in this game for a long time. This cycle of birth and death and reincarnation. You're gonna be stuck in this shit for a long time. So, recognizing that we're all destined to become Jesus, to become Christ in consciousness, right? With different paths. See, Jesus had a different path to reach there. and God knows how many incarnations. Buddha had a different path than Jesus, and God knows how many incarnations. But essentially, we're all destined to become the Buddha. We're all destined to become the Christ. We're all destined to become that consciousness, that embodiment of that consciousness. And that is unconditional love. That is love at its truest form. You know, parents a lot of times think they really love their kids, but come on, parents have a lot of conditions for their kids' love. A lot of parents do, right? Like, I love you if you follow what I tell you to do. I love you if you take over my business and follow the career path that I want you to do. Attachment, again, just attachment, right? I love you if you follow the religion that I follow, but if you don't, I love you less. Yeah, parents have a lot of conditions. They think they love their kids, they love their kids, but it's like, that's still love tainted with ego's attachments to how things should be, according to your own judgments about how things should be, right? So yeah, it's good to be aware, because let's face it, for most of you guys watching, for me definitely, we are far from that at the moment. You know, hopefully somebody's watching who is not. I really, see, I'm making a judgment here, okay? See, I'm making a fucking judgment. See how the mind always judges? I don't want to make the judgment, but I'm saying most of us, let's say, in the world, right, are far from that, okay? Even the ones who think they're kind of getting there, really, like, wait until something like that happens to you and tell me if you have unconditional love. Like, I made a video about my bad temper, how I just lose my shit when somebody, like, is rude or wrongs me. Well, yeah, where is that fucking unconditional love, motherfucker? I don't got it at the moment. I really don't. But I'm aware of it. So this is why I'm making this video, because I want to start to let it seep into my consciousness, to seep into my way of being. And that's how it happens. It's not just like you turn on the switch, I'm gonna unconditionally love myself. Good fucking luck. Your mind is set on so many things. You must unlearn what you have learned, is what Yoda says. And that unlearning takes time, because unlearning a habit, your mind thinks in certain habits and even perceives and experiences love in certain ways. So you have to undo these patterns, and that takes time. Undoing a habit takes like 10 times more effort than doing a habit. See? So it takes time. It's a process. Just being aware of it is good. Setting the intention, that the intention of, I want to start loving things and people and everything and myself even, right? Yourself. It's part of it. More unconditionally. And you set that intention and you let it cook inside this chemical lab, and I think that's a good start, because remember, the game we're all playing here, the real game, is the game of consciousness. It's the game of becoming that Christ, becoming that Buddha, becoming that consciousness. That's the real game we're playing. So I think this is, having this concept, making this video, and you listening to this video up until this point is crucial. It really is crucial. So God bless you all. This is where I'm going to finish the video here. This topic shall be revisited again and again and again, because I really think this is at the heart of it. I think this is at the heart of what we're here to do in our purpose of existence. Unconditional love. And actually, just before I finish off, I've experienced this unconditional love on 5 grams of, 5 grams of mushrooms. And if you go on YouTube right now, and this is how I know this to be true, because I experienced this under the influence of 5 grams of mushrooms. Okay, so it was under a substance. And I knew this was possible, because if you go look on my YouTube video, I have a thing called Just Do It Experiment. And if you go look it up, I was giving people papers, just do it. I was like going around, social experiment, right? And I was high on mushrooms, and I was high on 5 grams of mushrooms. And I was full of love, and I would fucking go to anybody and like just give them a hug, and just full of love, right? And I remember when I was doing the experiment, I went up to 4 chicks and I wanted to give them the paper, and they gave me the bitchiest attitude you will ever get as a guy from a group of girls, that in that case, right? bitchiest attitude. Like 4 of them, like they fucking told me, get the fuck out of here. We don't want to have anything to do with you, blah, blah. And genuinely, because I was on 5 grams of mushrooms and I was full of that divine love, genuinely, I looked at them and I said, it's okay. I still love you anyway. And I said it from such a deep place, from such an authentic place, that I can see the girls almost starting to feel bad about the attitude that they give me. And in that moment that I just authentically said, it's okay, I still love you. Because I instantaneously put myself in their shoes and I understood that probably all 4 of them had some kind of a really bad experience with guys. And all of them together, that energy coming together, is resulting in this lashing out reactionary thing that they're doing. And it was just, that's love. That's unconditional love. It's like, oh, you think I'm a fucking douchebag and you don't want nothing to do with me and you're threatening me and say, get the fuck out of here. I think they said, like, get the fuck out of here before, like, I call the cops or something, you know? And I still, from a genuine place, you know, again, this is me under the influence of 5 grams of that lovey-dovey mushrooms. I looked at them and I said, it's okay. I still love you. And I moved on. That's the Christ consciousness. You know, that is the Christ consciousness. That's what we are striving to do, what we're striving to be. You see? So, God bless you all. I love every single one of you guys. Except for if you don't subscribe, of course, then fuck you. I don't love you for shit. What are you even doing here? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. No, I'm kidding. I love you guys. I love every single one of you. But don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.